Hey y'all. So I want to come on today because a revelation I got earlier is that, excuse me, a revelation I got earlier was that the very thing that you went through, that you prayed through, that God brought you out of, could very well be the thing that He uses for you to got someone else out. And let me explain. So, just as how Moses was called to lead the children of Israel through the wilderness, and even though he didn't go into the promised land, there was still someone appointed to lead them into the promised land and guide them as they went in the promised land. So there's always going to be, you know, destiny helpers or like some other word guides or even judges in our lives where we can not lean on them, but glean from them because God has already taken them through it. God has already qualified them for the calling. And a lot of times, without these people, there's no way for you to move forward. Just as Jesus is the only way to the Father and He's the way, the truth, and the life, there are certain people that God appoints in our lives to where if we don't listen to them or if we don't, heed the calling that God has called them for, then there's no way for us to move forward. And a very good example of this is how in the Bible, after Joshua passed on, Israel went straight to sin. Like, they went straight to sin. And they kept doing it, and then God raised up judges, and that's how Samson and them came about. And even after all the judges passed on, they still kept choosing sin, and that's why they could never prosper the way that God intended for them to in the promised land. And they even had complaints about it, despite it being their own disobedience that was causing the delay, the stagnance, even the hardship and the exile that they later ended up going through when they all were sent captive to Babylon. So I just wanted to share this with someone and say, like, there are people who have went through what you went through, and not only are they appointed for you for such a time as this, but they can even help you. They are part of the answer to your prayer.